Mark my words, this could easily be Game of the Year of 2025. Let's talk about Expedition 33. Welcome in everyone, today we are covering Expedition 33 and just like all of our reviews, we have a no spoiler policy. So you won't be getting anything here you wouldn't normally see from the already released trailers and gameplay. So don't worry about that. All gameplay I show won't be past the 10-hour mark. No spoilers whatsoever. Sit back, enjoy. All gameplay you do see is captured on a PS5 and the game took me a total of 16 hours to complete. But before we start, thank you so much to Sandfall Games, Kepler Interactive, and of course a big thank you to Guillotine Agency, specifically for getting me a code to Expedition 33. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed the hell out of this game. I am already picking it as my 2025 Game of the Year. There's so much I love about it, but we're going to do exactly what we do in every review, which we're going to cover the story, the gameplay, the soundtrack, and of course, an overall thoughts and opinions. So let's get into it. So the story of Expedition 33 really messes with your mind every step of the way, but the absolute basics is it takes place in a dark fantasy setting where the protagonists attempt to stop what's known as a paintress whose godlike powers can kill everyone of a given age she draws on her dwelling, a giant monolith. Now, thank you very much Wikipedia for that brief summary, but just on my own personal aspect, the story is so much more than that. We jump straight into the world of Gustave, who has a particular love interest that didn't quite work out, but it's so obvious that something is still there. Today is what's known as the day of the gommage, which pretty much means that the paintress is changing the number on the monolith from 34 to 33. What this says is anyone older than the age displayed on the monolith gets Thanos snapped out of existence. And it's so compelling from day dot. The first hour, you're already feeling for these characters, watching their loved ones disappear. And this is only the beginning of what is such a heartfelt story. With this happening in the world, they have no choice but to do what's called expeditions, which is a small group of people join together to make their expedition based on the number on the monolith and go try and kill the paintress. That is it. That is the story that Expedition 33 wants you to know. All I can tell you is there is so much more to be had. This is the base level of the story, and it alone is a movie by itself. But when you play this game, the story expands insanely quick, and you do nothing but feel for every single character. A perfect comparison for those that want to know what Expedition 33 is like is the Final Fantasy franchise, especially the recent ones. I have never seen a game do what Final Fantasy does so well with its compelling characters, awesome gameplay, and stunning graphics, but Expedition 33 has knocked it out of the park. It is exactly like that Final Fantasy flair. So if you like Final Fantasy, you'll like Expedition 33. If you don't like turn-based combat, there's something here for you. In saying that, we'll go into the gameplay. So combat is exactly that. It is turn-based, which for me, I hate turn-based gameplay. It immediately flicks me off every single game. I don't want to play it. However, what Expedition 33 does differently is it might be turn-based combat, but they also implemented QTEs to keep you that little bit engaged. Now, this is as simple as casting your spell, doing your attack, and pressing X at the right time. This will allow your attack to be that little bit more powerful because you pressed it at the right time. In saying that, dodging, parrying, and even jumping during combat is possible and has to be done at the right moment. Parrying especially is super important because you could deal up to 10,000 damage just for executing a parry perfectly. Now, like I said, there's parrying and there's dodging, and you pretty much choose which way you'd like to go. Dodging has a higher chance of window of completing the dodge, therefore no damage will be taken. However, parrying has a smaller window, but if you parry consecutively, you will then be able to do extra damage as a counter attack, and it's definitely worth mastering the parrying in this game. It will do wonders for you. Now, on top of this, in the world, you then come across enemies that are very, very easy to avoid. Don't worry about that. You don't have to fight anything in this game practically. It is very easy to dodge enemies in this world. I spent a lot of my time not even wanting to fight them, so that's fine. I could run around or fight whatever I wanted to fight. Now, combat is necessary because this will be the main way you level up your entire team. It can get slightly repetitive. Being turn-based, being QTEs, they can wear thin. In saying that, this game only took me 16 hours to complete, so it's not as big as what everyone seems to say. I did play on easy mode. As I was trying to get this review out, I wanted to play and experience as much of the game as humanly possible, so we jumped on easy mode. It only took 16 hours. Online it's saying between 30 to 50 hours. If you explore to your heart's content, 100% it can take that long. But if you're in it for the story and you want to experience the heartfelt world, it doesn't have to take that long. 16 hours is more than plenty of enough time. On top of the combat, we have skills and skill trees, which is very, very well done. Each character has their own skill tree with their own abilities, and you get to map out how you want your character to evolve. Now, each character does have its own little niche of abilities to use. Some are more physical combat users, some are elemental damage, some use weird night and day tactics that I never really quite got my head around, but each character has its own ways of attacking and dealing damage, which depending on what you're fighting is super useful. So swapping out your team and actually coordinating attacks is really necessary for this game. In saying that, when it comes to your boss battles, sometimes the first time you face a boss is just a warm-up because you really need to learn their parries and techniques and timings for these bosses to be able to defeat them. Sometimes it can be very frustrating. So outside of combat, the world of the gameplay is super simple. You run around, there's no stamina, you can pick up all the items, make sure you explore every nook and cranny because there is so much to find in this open but linear world. There are dungeons to beat, bosses to fight, and even NPCs to find and help for even more specific rewards. Around every corner in Expedition 33, there is something new to find, and that is simply an explorer's dream for these kinds of games. Some other gameplay mechanics similar to the platforming is also worth mentioning. Grappling and platforming in this game feels really nice. One thing that doesn't feel nice is the climbing mechanic. It feels like something that was a little bit shoehorned in. It doesn't feel quite right when you're actually doing it. There was one time I actually had to close the game because for some reason I couldn't get off the platform. But that happened once and not really worth mentioning that much. Graphically, this game is gorgeous. I caught myself in awe of this game. There is so much going on, so many particle effects. The world and design of this game needs an award, I swear. It is stunning. One of the best things about Expedition 33 is its brand new IP, brand new gameplay, brand new story. Everything about this game is new and exciting. It is 100% why Expedition 33 has knocked my socks off. Now, the soundtrack of Expedition 33 is really where this game shines. I'm just going to play a couple of the soundtracks for the bosses and just open worlds, and I just want you to enjoy it for a second. As soon as this game brings out a vinyl, which they have to, I am buying it. This is stunning. They have spent so long on their music, and you can tell. Even the Clair Obscur soundtrack, the main theme is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. I love the soundtrack in this entire game. Overall, if you can't notice, Expedition 33 is stunning. It is amazing. It is perfect. I love it. It has like one or two little things that could have been done a little bit better. Without a doubt, if you're a fan of Final Fantasy games or hard-hitting stories and emotional characters, games that make you blank out whatever's going on in your life, you're just there to experience this story, this is the game for you. I cannot stress. Expedition 33 needs awards. It's borderline going to win Game of the Year of 2025 unless something crazy comes out. I'm looking at you, GTA 6. But beyond that, like, this game is something else, man. Do yourself a favor, pick it up. It is worth your time. It is worth your money. This game is worth everything. I love this game. But anyway, of course, that is just my opinion of Expedition 33. Stunning, loved it. I can't say that enough. But if you pick it up, or what do you think of it? Let me know down below. Turn-based, does that turn you off the games? Because it turns me off games. So I get you. But comment down below. I'll be there. Thank you so much for watching. Look out for my tips and tricks video before you play Expedition 33. Check out the tips and tricks. I'll see you in the next one. I love you. See you later.